Welcome to the Chamber Spotlight, a local talk show podcast brought to you by the Pembroke Chamber of Commerce in association with the local scene. We record on a regular basis and cover many topics that span local businesses, local elections, local town governance, and a citizens' academy. I'm your host, Fraser Townley, and today is June the 15th, and we're sitting down with Mathieu Demour. I got that right?
Well, a little flair, but yes.
What do you expect? And Steve Gorman from The Big Y. Steve, you're the new manager.
Director, yes, sir.
Oh, director. Okay, my apologies. Matt, you've been on before, so you know the format. Steve, this is your first time. I got to tell you, the town is abuzz. So excited about the new store. And I've got to say, I've been there several times since you've gone through the soft opening.
Yes, sir.
And now you're about to do the
grand opening on the 18th.
The grand opening. That's
opening.
Right. You got flybys. And the store's phenomenal. It's really phenomenal.
Thank you.
The company's done a fantastic job. You've done a fantastic job. It feels organized. It feels stocked as well, which I don't know. That's obviously
Certainly the goal. We actually just came from the store, and it's a fascinating perspective that I get to see. I mean, I saw it when it was it's Stop and Shop, and I saw it empty, and it is it's a pretty expeditious investment and campaign here, but it's a new store. It is very clean, very warm, very welcoming, and Steve and his team have done a phenomenal job merchandising the space.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you a question. This is, again, it's a bit geeky, but are the gondolas taller? I call them.
No, we do too.
Okay.
Actually, no. So that's one of the few remnants that was left over from.
Why do I get that impression then? Did you stack the shelves taller?
So they did play around with some of the shelving in there.
Uh-huh.
So we're looking at our aisles designed a little bit differently than they might have been in other Big Ys in the past.
Okay.
Where if you walk in the store and you notice that very top shelf in the aisles, that's an opportunity for us to put any extra 1 or 2 units that didn't make it to the shelf.
Okay.
That way, rather than having to bring them all to the back of the store and then bring them out at a later time, if we notice a product is selling down, it's right there on that top shelf, so we can move it right down and fill the shelf.
Interesting. I actually knew that. I don't know why. In fact, I'll tell you why I know that. Cheez-Its. They came out with a gluten-free Cheez-It. My wife's got celiac, so we have to have the gluten-free, and they were selling out. There was always empty spaces. And I looked up one time in the Big Y in Kingston, and there was this box that said gluten-free, so I pulled it down and took them all. I couldn't. Now, of course, you'll never sell out, I'm sure. We have gone straight into this without having any proper introduction. Matt, we had an introduction. We had a bio from you. Steve, what about yours?
Sure.
What's your background?
So I have worked in supermarkets my entire life, since I was 16 years old. My mother worked in the industry as well her entire life. So when I was 16 years old, I remember getting a phone call from her and asking, Steve, do you want a job? It was my summer vacation. I said, no, absolutely not. And she goes, well, do you want a car? And I said, yeah, of course I do. I'm 16 years old. She goes, well, congratulations. You got a job. You start next week. So that's how I got inducted into the industry. So started in produce. I was a part-time produce clerk. I was promised just to work 1 day a week, 2 to 7. And then that became Saturdays, and that became weeknights. And then I went to college, really liked what I did. Went to college, Assumption College out in Worcester for business management. And I knew that this is what I wanted to do. I was very lucky to find a job that was a good fit for me. And I've been lucky enough to be here ever since. So grew up very close to Pembroke too, in Whitman. So not too far from where the store is now. So a lot of familiar faces have been coming in. So I've been very lucky in that sense as well.
Yeah. Has it always been with Big Y?
No. So I originally worked for Hannaford. I worked in the Norwell store when it was Hannaford. So that was back in 2009. Worked for them for about 7-8 years. And we transitioned to Big Y back in 2016. And I've been with Big Y ever since.
Okay. The competition.
We
don't talk about them. Very good. So that's your bio and your background all in one.
All in one.
Yeah.
Streamlined.
Very good. What was your degree in?
Business management.
Okay.
So management major,
that,
marketing minor.
Right.
So I was lucky where I knew this is what I wanted to do forever. So I was able to go into college, knowing that this was the end goal for me. So I was able to kind of tailor that college experience towards this career.
Yeah.
So it worked out perfectly.
Did your perception of what life in the management of a store change once you became that?
So it's funny because everybody always talked about having like the store lens, like that big picture of understanding what's going on in all areas of the store at all time. But when I was just a part-time in college, I said, no, produce is the end-all be-all of the store. Nothing else matters. It all starts and finishes with produce. And then all of a sudden when I moved through the company...
The produce manager always said that.
It's the toughest job in the store, no matter what anybody else says.
I started my career in exactly the same way as you did. I was a graduate trainee for a company called Sainsbury's, which is a greengrocer in England. And my first department was the produce department. And my produce manager was exactly, no, this is the... And there are times of the year when it was the toughest job in the marketplace. The toughest being strawberries. When strawberries came out, when strawberries are in season, it's not like it is now where strawberries are always in season. They were in season for about 10 days of the year. And we used to sell them by the punnet. And I saw at the time, this is not me being sexist, but it was housewives doing things that you just wouldn't imagine people would do with the punnets, piling them up. And we would end the day with tons of empty punnets. But it was aggressive. So anyhow, sorry, apologies. You go.
That's okay.
So your perception as a 16-year-old, 1 day a week to being manager?
Vastly different. Just understanding how much knowledge has to go into running a store. I mean, I looked at produce as, again, the end-all be-all, but understanding that everybody else felt like that in their own departments too. And then you put the whole picture together and have a really good supermarket at the end of the day. Yeah. That was really cool as I moved through my career to see that all come together.
So you've done all of the disciplines.
So I started part-time produce, became assistant produce manager, then I was a produce manager. Did that for a couple of years, and then I was selected to go into the Big Y store director training program. So that was a year-long process of me really getting to work in every department in the store just to get a better understanding of what the responsibilities and day-to-day functions of those departments were. Yeah. And it really helped me be better at my job. Because like I said, all I knew was produce. That was it. Yeah. So all of a sudden you spend 6 weeks working in the grocery department. You learn there's a whole heck of a lot more that comes with this than just putting stuff on the shelf. So it gives you a new perspective and just understanding everybody has really difficult jobs and they make them seem easy. Yeah. Which was really cool for me to be a part of. Good.
Any trade secrets you want to share?
No, I wouldn't give anything away. Absolutely not. No.
I think the beauty of Steve's story too is that oftentimes working in retail, it doesn't, kind of has a little bit of a black eye. And the reality is what he's describing as a supermarket is a tremendously complex organization with multiple departments in there. And even your slower volume supermarkets are responsible for, millions upon millions of dollars of sales processed yearly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's to be able to manage that entire thing is a remarkable achievement. So he's been a great asset.
And there are things that go on. I mean, listen, I don't know if they still go on, but in my day, there was more than just putting stuff on the shelves and it selling. There was the actual processing of some of the food items. We would get cheese in blocks that were huge, and then we were the ones that would carve it up into...
Still happens today.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
And then there was something else we used to do. We would prepare... So the butchery department got whole carcasses, or quarter for... it was quarter carcasses of cows, of cows, but then halves and full. I think it was full for the. It must have been full for the lambs. Anyhow, that was all butch. So it's not butchering, but it was. Yes, it is actually. It is butchering. Yeah. It's not slaughtering. It's butchering. That was all done on site, and you had to know all of that. And we got a taste. I got my knives, and I twirled them around a bit. I was a bit of a fool, but. But that was all part of the training. So you still do all that?
We still cut everything in store every day. Yep. So a little more cleaned up pieces of meat compared to the full carcasses that might have been sent out in the past. But we still have fully trained butchers who will cut every day in the store for either customer specifications, for our sales case, for the sales floor, every day of the week.
I think is the fruit also prepared in store?
So we do have some fruit that we do cut up in store. I believe there's 4 different types of fruit that we do cut up in store, in addition to product that we get supplemented from a supplier as well. Yeah. But we do prepare like I talked about cheese, that gets cut every day. We do produce, we'll cut produce every day, cut watermelon, we do in store every day. So there is still a lot of that hands-on actual productive work that takes place in the store every day.
Yeah. I remember the craziest thing we did, and then you can share your craziest. The craziest thing we did was we would get huge tins of corned beef, and we'd open those tins and slice them into corned beef and sell them as fresh corned beef. And it was, what's the difference? Anything like that?
Nothing crazy like that. My craziness comes from just like the quantities we have to do.
Oh, right.
Just in my time as a produce manager, we would whole bins of watermelon that might come 60 whole watermelons, cutting multiple bins of watermelon per day if you're going up to like the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Just like, oh my gosh, just understanding the labor that goes into just you picking up that 1/4 piece of watermelon to bring home to your family.
Yeah.
A lot of work to get it there, and just like understanding like, holy smokes, people buy this all the time. It's crazy. So that to me is like the oh my gosh.
And this is all locally prepared, as you said. It's done in the store.
Absolutely, every day, 7 days a week.
What kind of turnover is that in terms of you fill the bin, it empties, you fill it, it empties during a day?
Ideally, daily. We get turns on that daily as long as we're ordering right and producing right. The goal is giving customers the freshest product possible. So you don't want to have days and days of things produced sitting on hand. So we really try to be smart about what we're producing in store to give the best quality product to customers.
Yeah.
So ideally, it's once a day we're turning all that product to have fresh product out the next morning.
Right, but you're not putting a day's display out, are you?
No, so we'll try to have a manageable amount on the shelf. So depending, every store has its own different fixtures for displaying watermelon. Yeah. So I can speak to the one in Pembroke. We probably fill that at least 10 times per day.
That's what I was thinking.
At least 10 times per day, for sure.
That's a lot of muscle.
It's a lot of skill. It's like talked about butchering earlier too. Anything that you do that's a production item, in my mind, is a very, very important skill that not everybody can do.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of labor.
And do you employ that skill, or do you train that skill? So, or is it a bit of both?
It's definitely a bit of both. I mean, we brought in some people, part-time cashiers who work on the front end that are looking to get more hours, and then, okay, why don't you come over to the produce department and we can show you how to cut watermelon or how to make fruit cups. Mm-hmm. So it's like we didn't hire you with that intent, but we were able to develop that in you too. Mm-hmm. So we really try to look at people who come to us with those skills and those we can develop those skills into.
And how much of the staff right now? This is real detail. How much is this? How much of the staff today live in Pembroke? Do you know?
I don't know offhand, but just if I had to estimate, I would probably say 80% of the employees in that store, which was a result of that hiring site that we had back in the actual store, which started back on March 16th.
Yeah.
Tremendous turnout from the community of people who are looking for jobs and wanted to work with Big Y, which was really nice for us because it gives a lot of the customers familiar faces when they come in the store. Mm-hmm. So that has been a huge win, in my opinion, just being represented in our employees by the community.
Yeah. I believe we promoted, I'm not putting it down to us, but the Chamber of Commerce definitely promoted. In fact, your ad for hiring is pinned to our Facebook page, which I suspect soon we're going to have to unpin that because you're probably at the level that you want to be.
So we are in a good staffing place, but we are never turning away qualified candidates that want to work with Big Y. We are always looking for anybody who has skills and are looking for a career in retail. We're never going to turn anybody like that away. Especially in my store. If somebody really well-developed wants to work with me, absolutely. I will hire you for sure.
Well, I've got to say, Steve, I'm excited to hear your enthusiasm because you get a lot of down on retail. I think you even mentioned a little bit of, and you're very peppy. You're very excited about what you do. No, and it's good. I think it's very positive. And the store staff they're going to absorb that. They're going to feel that coming off you. So that's exciting. Good. So when we met, you were telling me about some of the plans for the viewer can't see me pointing at Matthew. So Matt, when we met, you were talking about some of the plans for moving out of Massachusetts and into Connecticut, or
well, we're pretty saturated in Connecticut, but it's continued expansion in Massachusetts as well.
Right.
Yep.
So how are the ops doing? Are those still on track? Or
doing very well, quite well. We actually have a store opening up in Saugus in late August. We are beginning construction right now in Fairhaven and North Dartmouth.
Right.
So those are beginning now. And we're also building a store in Orange, Connecticut.
So when you say you're building it, you've got the site and you're actually doing the brick and mortar, or are you working similar to?
It's a mixed bag. Right. Some were other retailers that went dark. Some are greenfield.
Uh-huh.
And some are former markets.
Good. That's a great expression, greenfield, actually. We used to use that a lot. That's a retail expression, though.
It is.
Yeah. Do you want to share with the viewers what that means?
It just means you're starting from raw land as opposed to developing or redeveloping an existing shopping center or building or office park.
Right. Very good. So we talked a little bit about, actually, you know what? I'm going to change something. You and I, before Steve arrived, we were talking about the World Cup. What's your team?
So Scotland has had such a presence in Massachusetts. So I don't know if you've seen all the viral videos of everybody from Scotland that's been taking over
wearing
Boston.
Kilts. Yes.
So I actually saw a viral video yesterday, my wife showed me, that had people from Scotland on my high school bus, the Whitman Hanson bus, that they were going into Gillette, or Boston Stadium, I should say. So
Yeah, not Gillette Stadium, Boston.
My passions go with anybody who represents Massachusetts. So they're here. Yeah. I love them. Perfect.
Very good. How is it impacting store operations? Because you've got you do business with a couple of the sponsors. Is that correct?
Yeah. So for us, it's more so, at least what I see at store level, it's just the party people who are looking to celebrate in groups. So we're seeing a lot of movement just based on people who are getting together and celebrating, whether it's...
But no special offers from Coke or Coca-Cola?
So we do have some promotional items in store, just some... FIFA branded items that we're selling.
Yeah.
We do have the FIFA cards that we're selling at our customer service desk too. So,
what are they?
I don't really know what they are, to be honest. They're like little trading cards, almost like the Pokemon ones that everybody was really going crazy about a couple of years ago too.
Not FIFA gift cards.
No, not FIFA gift cards. No, I think they're like trading cards.
Right. Okay. They've got to be a lot of trading cards because you got squads of 22 per team and 48 teams. That's a lot of trading cards.
A lot of trading cards.
Yeah. Good. So that was short and sweet from you on the World
Cup. Talk to me about the Patriots for sure, and I'll talk to you for hours.
They play at Gillette Stadium, don't they?
Boston Stadium. I'll say Boston Stadium right now. Talk to me in September. I'll say Gillette
What do you make
again.
of that? Let's just change the subject. What do you make of that, Matt? There's this demand that you have to change the branding.
Well, I could see it both ways. I think it's a little bit, I don't know, perplexing, but at the same time, they're trying to protect their brand and their sponsors. So I think being loyal to them and demanding those types of requests, I guess it makes sense if I really thought about it. But it's not like anybody in this market area doesn't know it's Gillette.
Well, yeah, exactly. And everyone's going to talk about going to Gillette Stadium. I mean, it's just the announcers are not saying it.
Or Foxborough, like you did, dating yourself.
Yeah, yes.
That's what I call it, too.
There you go. No, I saw some really interesting... the marketing people have really pulled some stops out. So there's a stadium, Levi Stadium, and they covered it up with the Levi... shield or whatever the shape is for Levi's. So you knew instinctively. You looked at it and went, okay, that's Levi. And then Lumens at the Seattle Stadium, they've gone out with a campaign. So they produce all the fiber optic that shares all the TV channels and broadcast. So they've come up with a slogan, you can hide our name, but you can't hide our broadcast. You know, it's that kind of stuff. There's a lot of really clever... and then there's other people that are just putting sticky tape on their brand names, so they haven't really done anything. So back to the future. I wanted to talk to you about smaller local stores. The company bought Amazon's small Fresh. Was it Fresh and Easy? I can't remember the name.
They were called Amazon Fresh.
Amazon Fresh. That was it. How's that going?
It's going. There's, I would call them small. They're anywhere from 32,000 square feet to 47,000 square feet.
That's reasonable.
So quite reasonable. I mean, Pembroke's only 40,000 square feet, or just under, right?
38,000.
Yeah.
Only.
Well, it's funny because people are still, there is gravity when we're talking about supermarkets, and you need a certain size facility. You need a certain size building to create that gravity when it comes to supermarket shopping patterns.
What do you think is the optimum size?
Well, we think it's our prototype, which is anywhere from 50 to 55,000 square feet.
Okay. And where have you got prototypes?
So we have one in Norwood.
Okay.
And then the new stores I mentioned are going to be that square footage.
Right. Have you ever worked in that size store, Steve?
I have, yeah. So I worked in Walpole, which was a little bit bigger than that. Kingston, which was also a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah.
I spent some time in the Norwood store as well. So I kind of understand what he's talking about with that being the prototype store.
And so the bigger square footage, do they have wider ranges or deeper?
Both. So it's the right assortment with the right amount of merchandising space allocated to it to maximize efficiency.
Right. And so do you ever think about expanding the range? Making it bigger? Adding things?
We have, yeah. It's a diminishing return for our model when you do that. Mm-hmm. So we think the sweet spot's right in there.
Right. What's your view, Steve?
I agree with Matt, 100%. Absolutely.
Well, of course you do. You have to.
Brilliant.
I'm looking for job security here.
No, good. Because, I mean, I know, again, I don't want to harp on but my experience of retail, that you have this, there's a sweet spot. If you go bigger than that, all you're doing is replicating and you're giving people more choice, which is great to a degree, but then you start diluting what your actual message and your offering is. And it becomes, it hits that, it's the bell curve. You hit
Correct.
the peak and then it just all falls away and it stops being effective. Have you ever thought about getting into other product areas, though? Non-food areas?
Well, we've dabbled. So we do have 9 liquor licenses in the state of Massachusetts. We have a couple of car washes. We have some gas and convenience locations. Mm-hmm. But when we've strayed too far away, we usually find ourselves running back to what we do best in the supermarket world.
Mm-hmm. No idea, no plans to expand the gasoline?
There is. Gasoline's a tricky thing, in particularly in this region of the country. There's a lot of consolidation, so there's not a whole lot of opportunity.
Right.
There's also been a lot of trepidation over the past, I would say, 6-8 years over, are gas stations going to be a thing in the future? Is it going to be electric vehicles? I mean, we had mandates that came and left.
That's a fair point.
So a lot of towns are concerned about whether or not to allow another gas station to come in and put, fuel tanks underground.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I hadn't thought about that, but you've got electric stations at your store. Is that correct?
So we don't.
Oh.
I believe when it was Stop and Shop, there were electric stations.
You do. This one coming back in. Okay. So they left the infrastructure there. So they actually had a third-party lease with the electric charging company.
Right.
That had defaulted towards the end of their lease. So because the infrastructure is there, we're going to go ahead and put one of ours in there.
Okay.
We typically do them in every location when we touch them from a major capital investment standpoint, or every new location gets charging facilities.
Right. When you say our one, is it just branded Big Y, or is there a specific spec that you go for? Yeah,
again, a lot of volatility in the EV charging world. So there's been a lot of starts and stops and bankruptcies. Mm-hmm. There is no real infrastructure grid for electric vehicle charging in the U.S. So it's a lot of startups that are doing it. Shell just bought in and acquired a whole company and then sold it before they ever actually charged a car. Right. So it's a program we manage in conjunction with a manufacturer who makes the pedestals.
Right.
And there's a profit share in there somewhere, but not much of one.
I read somewhere that BYD have got an ambition to put 30,000 charging stations in Europe by 2030. But these charging stations will charge your car in 5 minutes, which is awesome. If you can do it.
I've said all along that's the missing piece. So you need the infrastructure. So for a long time, and no fault here, but there's been a lack of infrastructure. So regulatory authorities have been putting on people who are building. For some of our newer stores, we have 15 charging stations by mandate. Right. They're not being used. They're not in the right spot. So to build the infrastructure the right way and have the expeditious ability to kind of charge the vehicle in a timely manner makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's what gas stations are, right? It's
Yeah.
it's the model's there. We just got to replicate it.
I mean, if you can charge your car whilst you're doing a grocery shop, that's the bingo, right? I would have thought.
Yeah, that's yeah. So the preceding theory was that yes, you could do that while you're shopping, or a lot of folks put them in at their corporate headquarters, so you can charge while you're at work. Those make some sense, but if you think about just the transportation grid, you feel that charge as you're traveling is really the end all be all.
Charge while you're traveling.
So to have those rest stops, to have those charging stations, that infrastructure there, because
I mean, if it takes you 5 minutes to do it, then yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
What I was confused about is if BYD are going to put 30,000 of these chargers, are they going to work with all cars or just BYD cars? Because I mean, there has to be a standard plug, surely.
They're starting to homogenize that. So the different car companies are starting to sell rights. So I think Rivian, for instance, can now use a Tesla charger and vice versa.
Okay.
Whereas initially they all had their own unique pronged charging cord.
Not a good way to spread the word.
Or to encourage people to get into electric.
Well, yeah. Well, getting into electric is one thing, but getting into a situation where a store like yours offers that charging facility, and how many different plugs do you have to have? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm glad there is a standardization coming through. I don't know where we're talking about.
I don't know how we got there.
Yeah. Gross. You're putting in a charging station. That's how we got there.
Yeah.
Very good. Anything else that's coming that you haven't, just not there yet, that you want to share? Maybe you can't share it.
No, as far as store level goes, no, we're really trying to work on right now is just introducing ourselves to the community for people who might not have shopped with us in Kingston or Norwell.
Yeah.
Really develop those relationships at a store level. That's kind of my focus right now, which isn't really new. It's just what we're in the process of working on right now. That's my primary focus as a store director.
Right.
Really just making sure that the community knows what we can offer for them and what we can do to support them.
Uh-huh. And what are the other activities this weekend for the grand opening?
Yep. So I think we have a DJ coming on Friday.
Oh.
So we'll have a radio DJ there. We'll have tables with giveaways and food trucks and all different things to try and welcome people to the store who might not have had an opportunity to come in yet.
Okay. Wahlburgers are coming? I'm serious.
They might. It's a possibility.
They had a food truck.
They have the truck now. Yeah. We had it a couple weeks ago.
That opened the farmer's market.
Yep.
So
that's the third brother, right? Paul. I think Paul does all the cooking for them.
Yeah.
No,
that's
I wouldn't expect Mark to drive the truck in, but
flip burgers. No, you will never see.
No.
We actually had an employee appreciation event at a support center about 3 weeks ago, and Paul came in the truck and cooked burgers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And he does a good job, apparently.
They're fantastic.
I've been to his restaurant in the Shipyard before, and it is awesome.
Yeah.
Really good.
Okay. And the DJ, famous DJ?
I think Kiss 108, I think it was Lisa Donovan is coming.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
So if it's good weather, hopefully she'll have a nice table right up front. So we'll have all sorts of music and stuff for customers to welcome to the store.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
And that's Friday and Saturday?
Friday. Friday will be the DJ.
Just okay. But the main event is
Thursday.
Oh, it's Thursday.
Thursday is going to be the grand opening.
So in fairness, we years ago, and in general in retail, used to do a big event for the grand opening.
Yeah.
Invite all the politicians, have a flag raising, do all the pomp and circumstance. And quite honestly, it wound up being a little bit challenging for the store folks. So we've actually migrated away from that.
Yeah.
There'll be a series of things down the road and opportunities where we can meet like local dignitaries and tour them around the store and introduce them. Mm-hmm. But it's stressful enough to open the store. So our approach these days is kind of, put a couple hot ads out there and then and let the store kind of get their feet wet. Mm-hmm. And that's part of the soft opening too, is really introduce them. Because a lot of these folks have never worked in a supermarket before, right. Let alone a Big Y. So allow them to kind of acclimate first before we put too much pressure on them.
Mm-hmm. Any teething problems?
No, it's
good.
So for us, it's just we've had people training in the Norwell store and the Kingston store.
Yeah.
So it's for them really just figuring out the lay of the land, like how the equipment is, parts of the store, where things go. That's the biggest thing, is just kind of like Matt said, we've taken advantage of these last 2 weeks just to let employees get comfortable in the building.
Sure.
Before we have the big grand opening celebration. So really making sure people are good with what they're doing.
Each time I've been in there, since it's become a Big Y, it feels like the car park is full, the aisles are full. it seems to be a lot busier than I remember it being.
I've heard that from a lot of customers in the community. A lot of customers who have said they've never seen the parking lot that full before.
And are you? I mean, obviously you want to ramp up, but are you hitting the targets that you set for yourselves, or?
So I think we're in a great spot when it comes to business. I think just in terms of soft opening, which is open up the doors and see who comes in.
Yeah.
I think it's been fantastic from my perspective so far, exceeding what I would expect for a soft opening, and just in terms of customer feedback too. So it was funny, I was telling Matt this morning, when we opened on June 4th, customers were coming in and applauding us. And I was like, no, I think this should be the other way around. Like, I should be clapping for you guys. So.
Oh, no. We have the town, I think I said to you, we were so upset when you said, no, it's not going to be March, it's going to be June.
We had to do it right.
But I understand why. I mean, and the results of the store and the way it looks and the way it's performing that's the testament to you saying, okay, let's hold back and let's just do this right. And I feel you have done it right, and it feels terrific in there. I don't know where I was going with that. You came in, you said you were going to be late. Anyhow, I think so it's the town. The town has been waiting for this to happen. And everyone seems, everything I see on social media, everything I hear when people are talking to us, everyone is excited about Big Y and excited about the opportunity.
It's a really good feeling for us.
Yeah. So, and it can only get better because there's so much development coming into town. You've got across from your car park, the Shepherd's Funeral Home is going to be turned into
66 units, I think it is.
It came down, actually.
Oh, is that right?
It was originally 66, 55 and over.
Okay.
But the state said, no, you can't be 55 and over. You have to be a bit more accommodating. And in order to do that, they had to make some of the apartments 3-bedroom.
Okay.
And so it's down to 62. But
that's okay.
But that's 62 families as opposed to 66 retired. And then you'll have the tavern coming there as well. So it's becoming a more vibrant center.
You can feel it for sure with the community center. So what we did in the weeks leading up to the store opening is as an opportunity for our employees to practice in the store. We were making breakfast and lunch and delivering it to the police department and the fire department. And I think the very first delivery we did was at the community center.
Yeah.
And first of all, a gorgeous building.
Yep.
And second of all of the people that were there taking advantage of it, for me, it was really cool to see.
Yep.
Because it tells me the importance of community.
Sure.
Right? So the community center was represented with the community.
Yep.
And we kind of hope we can be that part too.
So the Council of Aging had a separate building. They moved into the community center. And so the activities that we have there are phenomenal. And it's free to any resident. So, it really is a terrific gem for the town. And you're becoming part of that jigsaw puzzle for the town and its growth and its prosperity. So
yeah, proud to be that part for sure.
Terrific. Well, we're very glad to have you. We're actually at time. But before I go, I'm not going to present you with anything. This is my script. Before I go, was there anything else, Matt, you wanted to share?
Just quickly, it's kind of how the whole conversation started, so I kind of want to close the loop here, but Steve was talking very produce-centric, but everything we do the hard way, but because it's the right way. So we still have, a lot of skilled artisans in our stores, whether it's baking, cake making, butcher, seafood, produce.
Still the best. It is the best.
Thank you.
So I truly believe it. Sometimes it takes folks a while to figure out what's different, but the easy thing would be to not do those things and just bring it in pre-wrapped and pre-packaged and do what some of our competitors do. And we believe in investing in our community, investing in our employees, and really growing those skill sets. Because at the end of the day, I think it makes a difference to the consumer. Mm-hmm. So we're hoping that the folks in Pembroke are happy with the store we provide.
100%. Steve?
I agree with everything that Matt said.
You have no choice. You have to.
Exactly. I told you, job security. But on top of that, one thing that we've really been trying to do, like I spoke about earlier, is the customer engagement, right? So trying to make sure that we're offering the right products that our customers are looking for. So just encouraging anybody to just give us that feedback and make sure that we're offering the things that they're looking for. And hopefully with everything that Matt discussed, we are hitting all of those areas. But just please feel free to seek myself out or anybody in the store to make sure we're doing right by our community. For sure.
This really is your store. We want it to be your store.
That, I think, is a great advert in itself. And I'm sure that message is going to get out just from, you just have to go to the store. You have to do your groceries and find some new. I mean, I had a pastry in there the other day. Fantastic.
I have one a day.
You're not long for those pants. But no, it tasted like it was freshly baked there.
Every morning. So the donuts, muffins, pastries, we do them fresh every morning.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So look, I want to thank you, Steve, and Matt for coming along. But I want to thank the listeners for tuning in. This podcast will be available on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube with additional links on our Facebook page. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at the Pembroke Chamber of Commerce. And if you're interested in becoming a member of the Chamber, please go to the Pembroke Chamber of Commerce website, pembrokechamber.org. Gents, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for coming to Pembroke.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.